Hello, friends. Welcome to today's show. I'm Dr. Helen, founder and chief engagement officer of Dr. Helen Holton and Associates, and your host for Dr. Helen Speaks: Strengths, Resilience, and Leadership. Thank you for joining us today. I begin every show with that because without you, there's no purpose for us. And we appreciate you are. And we don't take it lightly. Your presence here makes this show happen. Because what we know are that there are other places you could be right now doing something very different. And our time together is an opportunity to continue on the journey of lifelong learning as leaders. Yeah. Mm. What we show up to do is to add value to your life as a leader and your leadership whenever you tune in. Whenever you tune in, whether you catch us live or you catch us on a rebroadcast. It's the information's still good. And technology certainly makes the timing of it work for you. One of the things we do in showing up that keeps us accountable is that we hold a firm commitment to invest time and energy to bring you, to pour into you, your knowledge well, to add to your next level of leadership by the nuggets or chunks you gain from the information we share. We spend time every week vetting and researching topics and information that we want to bring to you. One of the most significant lessons I've personally learned is that the most effective leaders are lifelong learners. The most effective leaders are lifelong learners. And who you learn from matters. Everybody's not going to pour into you in a way that's going to be positive, help you develop your strengths and abilities, to build resilience, to watch out for blind spots, all those things that matter when your goal is to move towards intentional leadership on purpose, driven. Yes, it all works together. It really does. And the more you invest in yourself by choosing to learn and expand who you are as a leader, it strengthens your leadership. You become the primary beneficiary with the opportunity to share it back out into the world. Now, that's some powerful stuff. And when you continually and consistently invest in your leadership development and professional growth, you elevate your leadership forward. But here's the caveat: you also elevate your life forward in how you leave an imprint on the world, because each of us leaves one. If we spend a second or 1,000 years here, we leave an imprint. And you want to be mindful of the imprint, the impression that you want to leave behind that others may follow. Think about the great leaders today that you admire and are willing to invest in, who have poured into you. That's a big deal. It really, really is. So, how you show up to lead, equipped and empowered to effectively engage is essential. It's like the lifeblood of your success. Because who you show up as and what you're able to do is what draws others to you. It's what helps to make you the leader that you are. And no one can do what you do better than you. No one. Because you're the only you there is. And not to minimize that, but to maximize it. And so my role here every week is to encourage, motivate, and inspire you to keep investing in you, to be the best you can be. It's that plain and simple. That's the why of why Dr. Helen Speaks exists to help you do you better. Plain and simple. This is my life's work. It's beyond my life's work. It's my life's purpose. And the social proof that brought that awareness to me came through the hundreds of coaching sessions with leaders and teams that I have had the honor and privilege to experience phenomenal transformations that show up in all sorts of ways, but it begins with the vision and the dream of the leader and where you want to go. We're the co-pilot that helps you get there, to helps you navigate the things that will get you to where you want to be. Do you have the opportunity to do what you do best every day? I mean, every day, even if it's just a smidgen of a day. I want you to reflect on that question. I ask it every week. And if you're a regular here, you know that question's always coming. If this is your first time here, it's something you have to look forward to. It's one of those questions you want to ask yourself with regularity, because when you find that that isn't the truth that you're living with, then it's time to take a step back and determine what is your purpose and passion in this life that will sustain you. There's a distinction between your work as a career and your work as your passion. Because what I need you to understand is that people retire from their work, from their career. People don't retire from their passion. That's your purpose. You'll keep doing that for however long it holds true for you. So, something to think about, to keep you thinking, growing, and moving forward toward your best life ever. Because when you wake up to pursue your passion every day successfully, I can't think of a better way to have an impact on the world. Doing what brings purposeful meaning, joy, and fulfillment to your life gives you more life. The value of aligning who you are at your best is worth talking about and sharing with others. It's positive reinforcement to keep you going forward. And in this season of holiday hustle, bustle, and hurry, woo, chaos is all around us and causing conflicts and challenges to chase your cheers of the season away. Don't let it happen. Don't give in to it. Just don't, because that's your choice not to. As a leader, think of it as your opportunity. Yes, it's not a crutch, it's a hand up. What's a leader to do to stay calm through chaos? To lead with agility and calm. Choose choices. As I've said often, in this life, we make choices, not excuses. You want to choose to lead by example. And it takes intention to stay calm and keep your cool. And this is your moment to upskill your leadership and increase your influence. Little by little, allow your calm composure to lead you through, to rule your day over chaos. So before we jump in, make sure you've got something handy to capture your thoughts, questions, ideas, aha moments. And hopefully you'll have 2 or 3 today. Grab a notebook, a journal, tablet, smartphone, or the back of an envelope. They all work really, really well. And I can attest to that because there have been times when I've used one or more of all of those things to capture the essence, insights of listening to other leaders. It's how we grow as leaders. Chaos is on steroids. It always is this time of year. And it's doing its happy dance right about now. I've had leaders all this week acknowledge their overload of work, family, and life getting it to work out in a good balance. It won't. However, shifting schedules around to confront the fire in the moment is real. Yeah. And when you really look at this from a bigger perspective as you, the individual, you can't help but to look around of what's happening in your neighborhood, in your city, in your nation, in the world. All of that impacts who we are. So today we're going to look at some of the ways that you can choose to use calm choices to confront and conquer the challenges and keep moving forward. Now, if you don't me, I love using quotes by other people. It, for me, it helps to strengthen that connection between the truths that I have learned throughout life that have been validated and affirmed by others. Now, I dug out this quote. I have like tons of quotes from all over. Yeah, one day I'm going to catalog them some kind of way. And this is one of them I clearly missed because I don't know who said it. Maybe it was me who said it. I don't know. But I heard it in the world and I captured it. That when you can't control what's happening, challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to control the way you respond to what's happening. That's where your power is. Not getting caught up in, oh my goodness, remember Henny Penny? Oh, the sky is falling. The sky is falling because a nut from a tree bumped her on the head or something to that effect. You don't, when you get bogged down into the challenge of what's happening, what time and energy do you have to focus on how you're going to respond to it? Because that's what's most important. That's what's going to help you move beyond it. Now, how powerful is that? I know it seems really simple and it's not in the moment, but that's why we're doing it when you're not caught up in the chaos right now. Because if you're here, you've got a moment to say, okay, you know what? And it may be your opportunity just to put the chaos on the side and say, let me go get fueled up so I can come back with a fresh perspective on how to make calm choices to confront the chaos. Yeah. See, it's looking at it that way is like an invitation for you to take the high road when faced with these challenges. It's a choice that you get to choose. Now you can blow up and start ranting and raving and, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? What are we going to do to get back on solid footing? No, don't succumb to the chaos. Rise above it. You're a leader. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. However, when you keep investing in how you lead, that crown won't always seem as heavy. And there'll be times when it's like, oh, pooh, yes, this is what I'm here to do. So here are a few choices that you can make to navigate, calm choices to navigate through the chaos. Number one, learn to be adaptable. I mean, we hear these words, adaptability, agility. The bottom line is be willing to embrace change and choose a mindset that you're going to go with the flow. That's kind of how I look at adaptability. It's not about necessarily, it could involve some new things, but it could involve, hey, let me just lean into who I am and what I've got that I bring to the party anyway. Like being flexible, being open to adjusting strategies based on new information that's feeding your challenges. And here's where you can apply some emotional intelligence to pick up on the subtleties of team members, of uplines and downlines that may be undergirding the stress that's present in the room or in the building. Choosing to be adaptable sets a positive perspective. It's another way of you modeling effective leadership. Follow by example. Yeah. to move forward in spite of the distractions, in spite of the challenges, in spite of the chaos. Because at the end of the day, standing still, doing nothing because you're caught up in it doesn't move you any closer to being out of it. Point number 2 that really talks about what it takes to be adaptable. You want to promote open communication. No person is an island. What does open communication do for you? You want it to be open and transparent. Be willing to be vulnerable, to admit that, oh, this is more than I wanted to take on right now. But you're the leader. Guess what? Everybody's looking at you to do something. You want to articulate what's going on in the clearest, simplest language that you can muster. Simple language. You don't have to get fancy with big words and things like that. I know I do it sometimes. I can't help myself. However, in moments of chaos and crisis, that's when it really matters to be really simple in your language. Talk to me like I'm a first grader. And if you can break it down that succinctly and that plainly, oh my goodness. Can I just tell you? That's going to evoke breakthroughs for people and shift perspectives and help them be clear. Yeah. On steps being taken and expected outcomes, open communication with clarity of choices to confront almost immediately reduce anxiety. It builds trust and confidence in you as the leader. Because number 3 really sits on your plate. And that is to take responsibility. That's what leaders do. You don't want to sweep challenges under a rug. You want to acknowledge the challenges without assigning blame. What good is that going to do? Blame always puts you at odds with whoever you're blaming and who's not being blamed. When you're in it, how you got there is less important in the moment. In the moment when you're in it, is who are you blaming? A calm leader just accepts responsibility as the leader. And when you can do that, you're in a position to shift the focus on what can be done to address the chaos in the room, in the meeting, in the project, wherever you're facing it. Yeah. And that just goes hand in hand with number 4. You want to avoid the finger pointing. And you want to discourage a culture within your environment of blame within the team. It's got to be somebody's fault. I'm a big football person. And what I love about football is that most of the time teams operate together. I mean, they might get a little flustered if someone drops the pass or the quarterback gets sacked or there's an interception. Yeah, but it takes the team and the individual players doing their part. And it's not about finger pointing. Now, they might call out the person who dropped that beautifully thrown spiral. I don't know. Don't take it personal. I sometimes think we're caught up to want to incite conflict. Avoiding finger pointing is the quickest way to diminish it. As the team, it's the team that's responsible. There's nothing to be gained by dwelling on who or what caused the chaos. Direct your energies to focus on finding solutions and making choices calmly that lead to a way out as well as improvement. Number 5, be decisive. Oh, if I say it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. Make choices, not excuses. Even if you make the wrong choice, you don't know you've made the wrong choice until you've made it and gone down that path, and no time to point fingers and lay blame. Make decisions promptly. Don't be wishy-washy. Don't vacillate all over it until you've got another 1 or 2 on the horizon. A chaotic environment is ripe for indecision, which can be detrimental. It can send you deeper down the rabbit hole. Assess the available information you have in the moment that you need to act or do something and make informed choices from what you know and take decisive action. The people you lead may not tell you that often how much they appreciate you standing up and leading through difficulties, but they think it. They're glad you're in position. And even if it doesn't work out, what's that thing when you point your finger at someone? That thumb points back at you. Everybody plays a part in it. Better to play a part that says, hey, let's just go. There's a decision. Okay, all hands in. Mhm. What does that do? Number 6, that helps to encourage a growth mindset, to emphasize that challenges are opportunities for learning and improvement, doing things better, positivity, leaning into strengths, mindset, encourage a growth mindset, because all of these things that I'm just saying are going to lead you to a better space and place. It's going to help you focus on growing and being better to move forward successfully. You see, setbacks are a natural part of any journey. How effective are you at assessing your growth if you don't have any setbacks or missteps, or as you take one step, two steps forward, you're taking one step backward because something was missed in the process? This is a great encouraging a growth mindset is also a really great way to build your resilience, to toughen up, to bring awareness in real time that, hey, it happened, let's get over it. What do we need to do to assess that situation so that we can avoid it the next time out? Number 7, build resilience. Trust you me. Oh, I can't stress that enough. A leader that doesn't focus on having those go-tos when your back is up against the wall, known as your resilient brigade. Those things that you know when you're in a pinch, whether it's making a phone call, texting a friend, taking a walk, I mean, whatever, listening to music, reading affirmations, taking time just to breathe and gather your composure, all help you in that space and place. Help your team at an individual level understand that upsets are a part of this journey. And it's essential to bounce back stronger because you're able to look at where you came up short and think about how you can tweak it or take certain components of it out or add some others in. Yeah. You want to bounce back stronger. Celebrate small victories to boost the morale of everyone. Because sometimes you don't get the big bang in one shot. Maybe it's coming in small incremental steps that are building up to bigger victories. Which brings me to point number 8. Mm, continuous learning. Continuous learning. Foster a culture of lifelong learning within your team and your organization. Encourage others to learn from experiences, both successes and failures. I recently had a client say to me, well, I write down when good things happen. I don't dwell or focus on when not so good things happen. And I thought to myself, no, how sad. Because you're cutting out, you're failing to look at what could be your greatest breakthrough. When you just look at what went wrong, not blaming yourself, but understanding how you could have shifted and done things differently. which takes us to number 9. Yeah. Provide support and skills training. When you realize the value of continuous learning, how it promotes a growth mindset and becoming more agile and adaptable to future challenges, well, it doesn't happen by osmosis. Yeah. Providing support and skills training for your team and for you as a leader. Back to continuous learning. What are you doing to pour into you with regularity? What trainings, workshops, conferences are you doing to gain perspective of the bigger picture? So you want to make sure you build in skills training and support, because as the leader, creating a sense of unity and shared responsibility is significant. And when you demonstrate a genuine concern or empathy for your team members, it deepens the engagement within your team. You're practicing active listening. Great course to take on active listening. You'd be surprised. It's amazed me and continues to. Acknowledgement of understanding. Go deep in relationship building. Have those one-on-ones with your team. It makes skills training more acceptable and conducive with purpose, not just to have good conversation. And lastly, number 10, you want to encourage knowledge sharing. Oh my goodness. An environment where team members freely exchange information and expertise. Oh my goodness, it breaks down silos and ensures everyone benefits from the collective knowledge of the team. When you incorporate these skills and practices into your leadership behavior, it helps to build a stronger, more resilient, and adaptive team, capable of recognizing and choosing calm choices in the face of chaos. Oh, okay, I get really excited over this stuff. I really do, because it's like seeing the connections to all the things of what you're doing and the things that you're not doing, and choosing the pathways to bring in more good, inclusive practices that leave no one behind. Your sincerity and consistency and communication skills are the key to becoming an intentional leader. By incorporating these practices, and they're just not that difficult to muster. Yes, they take some time, effort, and energy. But by incorporating these and repetitively trying them out in different environments, creates a culture where team members feel valued and motivated to contribute their best. Yeah, absolutely. When you commit time for regular reflection on your leadership and how you develop it with professional growth and actions that you take to make a difference, mm, that will drive you that much closer to experiencing greater alignment of your strengths, vision, and career aspirations, leaning into your purpose. Think about the difference between a career and a purpose. One is finite, you're going to retire from, but if it is somehow connected to your purpose, maybe it's just a transition of how you continue to delve into why you are here. I'm Dr. Helen Holton, founder of Dr. Helen Holton and Associates, an executive coaching and leadership development firm. We drive leaders, visions, and teams forward to what's next. Life is not static or meant to be only one way. It's actually quite diverse, with lots of opportunities to be better. You want the best of you? We want to help you bring the best of you forward in meaningful ways that change lives and inspire others to step into their greatness. Join us every Tuesday, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific Time. and we'll be on more networks as we move into a new year. And we hope that you will join us. So follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube at Dr. Helen Holton. So until we meet again, be blessed and be calm with choices that keep you moving forward through chaos.